Hello everybody and welcome to another video with ironguin. Yay! And welcome to my look into the new Minecraft Java Edition Snapshot 20w46a for the Caves and Cliffs update. This snapshot does not add a lot. I think they're still experimenting with features. So this snapshot adds something that we've already looked at, just not on this version. You may remember couple weeks ago on the Bedrock edition, I loaded up one of the Bedrock betas and I used some powdered snow and some goats, and I showed you how they worked, what they did, all that. Well, the goats aren't here yet, but we now have powdered snow in Java edition. So yeah, here it is. So powdered snow used to be a block. We were not told how to obtain it. It was unobtainable in survival. And the way you would use, and what you would do with powdered snow was, you would place it in the floor, and then if anyone walked into it, they sunk into it. Well, now you place it with a bucket, and you can pick it up with a bucket too, to get a powdered snow bucket. It works the same as before, whereas if I was to go into survival, I would walk into it, I'd sink in, and then I wouldn't be able to get out. And then this nice effect would go around the edge of my screen and I would slowly zoom in. The only new thing is a new status effect called freezing, which is what's happening to me now. You can see that my hearts have gone blue and I'm taking damage. So after being in powdered snow long enough, you will start taking freezing damage. It's done every few seconds. It's quite slow to kill you and you can easily escape it, but you've still got slowness for a bit until it goes away. Now, powdered snow is not an instant death, and I'm actually going to go back into creative. Powdered snow is not an instant death because although you do fall into it, the one way of not falling into it is leather boots. Unenchanted regular leather boots. But you can shift if you want to go down it anyway, because maybe that's how you get a secret entrance into your base. So the next thing I want to show you is I've still got the leather boots on, so I'll stand on this. Then if I shift to fall into it, I will slowly start getting the status effect. And then my hearts will go blue and I'll start taking freezing damage. And I want to show you how to prevent freezing damage, like completely. So now if I put the leather trousers on, you can see it's much slower. It takes much more time between each heart. If I do the same with the leather tunic, it increases the time until I put the leather cap on. And now I'm wearing a full set of leather armor. It's almost... Okay, it says in the changelog that a full set of leather armor makes you immune. But that does not seem to be the case. And I've just got myself stuck. Oh, it looks like you can destroy it really easily with your fist. Huh, hadn't realised that. But yeah, it looks like there's a bug there where you still take damage even with the full set on. Even though it says here, wearing a full set of leather armor prevents freezing entirely. Now, you may be wondering why I specified earlier that previously powdered snow was unobtainable. Well, that's because now it's obtainable. What you do is in a snowy area like this mountain up here, you leave a cauldron out, and then if it starts, for example, snowing, well, not example, if it starts snowing, slowly the cauldron will fill up until it will be filled with a powdered snow bucket. And you can place powdered snow in cauldrons and scoop it out again. But that's how you obtain powdered snow. And I'm actually going to place down a few cauldrons to see if we can catch this happening. Because the more cauldrons there are, the more likely it is that we will actually see this happen. Okay, so supposedly if you leave a cauldron outside during snow, it will fill with powdered snow. But that, I've left it a good 3 minutes. Nothing's happening. Maybe it will take longer than 3 minutes. I'll have to find out, and I'll let you know in the next snapshot video. So let's just turn off this weather now. So that's it for new features with this snapshot. The only new feature is the powdered snow. They have not added anything else in, but they have changed a few things. So a few items have had their textures changed. Here, the cut copper, you can see, well, looking at it now, I can't really notice a difference, but I'm going to cut to a clip that I'm going to record straight after this one, looking at the old texture, and there I will explain to you what the differences are. So here I am in last week's snapshot, in the same world I used to show off last week's snapshot. Here's the cut copper block, which you can see the lines are slightly less defined and it's slightly lighter now. Well, it's slightly darker in the new textures than it was in these. Now the textures are subject to change, is what the devs say, so the textures could change at any point. They're not set in stone, they could go back to the old textures, they could get another set of new textures. I don't really see much of a difference between these two, apart from the new one slightly darker. The next item that's changed is the lightning rod, which once again I don't really notice much of a difference. So the lightning rod, from looking at this straight after looking at the last one, I can tell that the lightning rod now has, it's slightly lighter, whereas in the newer version it's darker and it's much more the same colour as copper, whereas if I put this cut copper here, you can see they're not the same colour. The next thing that's changed is the calcite, which also looks very similar to how it used to look. In the new version, the calcite looks much smoother. It almost looks like little bits of cloud next to each other. This one's much more jagged, which I don't really know which one I prefer. I mean, it's supposed to be a rock and not a cloud, so I suppose jagged is probably better, but I'm not sure. The next thing is the amethyst, which I can definitely tell a bit of a difference. These little crystals here look a bit more pronounced than they used to, but there's not much of a difference. Here is the budding amethyst. I think these cracks are bigger and it's slightly easier to tell them apart from amethyst now, but I might be wrong with that. So here's the block of amethyst. You can tell in the new one it's much more defined little crystals, like I said. Same with the budding amethyst, except in this one, the interior actually blends in a lot more. It's harder to tell these two apart than it is in the newer textures. Next thing that's changed is the tinted glass. I think the main change I can see is these lighter bits here are less noticeable. So I was wrong about the tinted glasses difference. These are the same colour, there's just less of them. This big one down the middle isn't there in the new texture. Now the next few are changes with the actual item. The candle looks different. This one you can definitely notice. It shows a bigger candle and a smaller candle in the item, whereas before it didn't. And now we're on to the in-inventory items. The candle, as I said, doesn't have the little one next to it, but it also, in this old texture here, it's much thinner and longer, whereas in the new texture it's slightly shorter and slightly more detailed. I prefer the new one. The next thing that's changed is the copper ingot, but again I can't really notice the difference. The copper here is slightly lighter in colour. It fits more in with the colour scheme of the lightning rod than it does its own blocks, and they now seem to have got all the copper blocks the same colour. The next thing that's changed is the amethyst shard, which I also can't notice a difference. I cannot tell a difference with the amethyst shards. Still, maybe it's the lighting, but I'm not sure. But the bundle I can definitely notice a difference. If a bundle has nothing in it, it looks open now, which it didn't before. It didn't change texture, but now if you put something in it, it goes back to the old bundle texture. So, yeah. The bundles, on the other hand, I got very wrong. I said that they looked the same, but they're a different colour altogether. Yeah, I much prefer the new bundles. I feel they fit the whole look, and the way the items are displayed. Here it says Amethyst Shard, whereas in the new one it shows you a picture of the Amethyst Shard. So there's only a few more changes from the last snapshot. So lightning rods now have a wider range, so it's double what it used to be. So now there's one lightning rod protects a larger area from lightning than it used to. And copper blocks are now only crafted with 4 copper ingots, like crafting a snow block with snowballs, rather than the previous 9, which was like crafting an iron block with iron ingots. The sky color changes more smoothly when moving from biome to biome, supposedly. I can't really see anything. I mean, you can see it gets darker when I come over here to where there's the thunderstorm. Ooh, thunderstorm. Wait, if I get a lightning rod and I put it down here, yes, the lightning rod. I wasn't able to show that last episode, but yeah, the lightning rod's pulling in lightning towards it. This is just a fluke that this happened, but I wasn't really able to show it last time. But now, if lightning strikes within a wide range of this lightning rod, then instead of hitting the ground, it will hit the lightning rod. So say it was on a wooden roof on my house, the wooden roof would now be protected. There's also a few changes with loot tables and data packs, texture packs, that kind of thing, but I don't really know much about that. There's quite a few bug fixes. Some of them are more interesting than others, but I'm just here for the new features, as I'm sure you are too. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're excited to see powdered snow in the game so you can prank your friends, let me know. I know I am very excited to see how powdered snow can be used to prank my friends. So, I will see you in the next episode. It seems these snapshots are coming out each Wednesday, so I should be doing a video either on the Thursday or Friday, maybe the weekend, depends on how busy I am. Maybe I'll do a video on the Wednesdays itself, but I will make sure that at some point I cover each snapshot. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Farewell.